Here we go. This is for the junglers. Has this ever happened to you? So there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to your laners feeding, and it's a common problem that junglers have, that their laners start feeding, they don't know how to react to this or respond to the situation, and this video is going to help. But before we get into it, there's a few things that I want you to remember, and there's a few things that you need to keep in mind when you're playing jungler, and the first one is this: very, very rarely will all of your laners feed in a game. It's like, I hear so many freaking people, they comment and they talk to me on LOL, and they tell me, you know, oh, my laners feed as AFKs and trolls and blah blah blah, my laners suck. And they act as if though every single one of their laners, top, mid and bot, ADC and sup, are feeding every single game that they play, which is the most retardedest thing I've ever heard. So you better get that stupid little belief system that every one of your laners suck out of your head, and you need to replace it with positive shit. And the next thing you have to remember is, you don't have control over how your laners play. Now this could literally be a whole video by itself, but I'll just lay down the quick basic point, and it's that your laners are playing and you're not playing for them. Can you like process that through your mind? Okay, you're playing jungle, they're playing mid, your top's playing top, okay, you can't fucking play for them. So whether they feed or they do really well, you have no control over at all. Okay, you're not controlling their mouse or their keyboard, so get that through your head. And lastly, the point that I want to make is, not every game is winnable. Every game, single game that you play, you have the chance to win or lose, right? So if you lose a game, you shouldn't be all sad and all depressed and shit, because you've got another game to play. The most important thing to do is that after every game you learn, and that might sound cheesy as fuck, and you could place that stupid little quote on a Facebook post with big letters and you can get 1,000 likes, but in my opinion it's true. And now that we've gone over the things that you need to remember, okay, before we get into this concept, I want you to ask yourself the question, why are your laners feeding in the first place? You know, if your mid is dying solo, you know, usually when laners die solo, it's kind of hard to have an influence on that decision. Let's say it's level 3 and you have a LeBlanc and they have a Victor and he kills them, you know, it's kind of hard to have an influence on that, but that doesn't mean to say that you shouldn't watch the lane, because maybe if you watch the lane, maybe you saw that Victor was playing really aggressive and there was an opportunity for a gank. But so that's if they die solo. But if the enemy jungle is just ganking, and you say, oh, my laners don't ward and blah blah blah, that's your fault. It's so fucking retarded how many junglers don't ward for their laners, because reality check people, junglers who play this game, your laners aren't focusing on the enemy jungle, okay? And it's a lot to focus on if they're trying to CS, they're focusing on trading, they're focusing on where the fucking enemy laner has put his ward. So you have to take the weight off his back and you have to ward for him, and you have to keep track of the enemy jungler for him so that he doesn't have an effect on the game and he can't snowball the lane for them. Okay, so if the enemy jungle makes a move and you have no counter move, that's your fault. Okay, get that through your head. I hate it when this happens and so many junglers complain. I'm like, you're fucking retarded, bro. And so, with all that being said, the first tip that I can give you is you need to camp one lane. Okay, so if we've gone over the point that not all laners should be, you know, it's so rare that every laner feeds every single game. There should be at least one lane that's doing well if you've done your job properly as a jungler. If you've counter ganked properly, if you saw an opportunity to gank and you ganked, and maybe you gave him the kill, or you just put the other laner behind in a sense. So one lane should be doing well, and then that's it, okay? That's all you need. You kind of only need one lane to be doing well. Obviously, it's better to be having two, blah, blah, blah. It's better to have every lane wins. But you have the opportunity to win if at least one the lane is doing well. And so after you've got one lane, okay, maybe it's mid, preferably mid and ADC. Mid and ADC are the best roles to have snowballing, in my opinion. And Apto said it as well, so I just raxed it from him. The second thing you need to do is you need to capitalize on the enemy's mistakes. when you are at a disadvantage to the enemy team, you know, they're snowballing, they're pressuring objectives, they're at tier 2 turrets, blah blah blah, you can't make aggressive plays because you're in a position that is behind. So if you try to make an aggressive play from a behind position, you're going to get fucked. You're going to get completely screwed over, you're going to lose the game, you're going to get flamed, blah blah blah. So what you need to do instead is wait for the enemy team to make a mistake. Okay, maybe you see 2 players at bot, so you can go for a Baron. Maybe they're pushing under turret and you have gangplank ulti, so you initiate them under turret, and then you have turret advantage. Okay, you need to wait for the team to make a mistake, and then you capitalize on it, and you give them a stack. And then the last tip that I can give you is, there's map objectives. You know, the gold isn't the only way that you can be in front. You know, like if your team feeds in money, you know, they feed in kills, they feed in deaths and shit, you can make up for it in a Baron steal or a Dragon steal. You know, like people think gold is the only way to be in front, but it's not the case. I don't know why that Lee just flashed, that's pointless. But yeah, if you steal Baron, you're buying yourself time. You're buying your team time to start cranking it up a bit. You know, start getting some money, start making some picks, start taking some turrets, blah blah blah. You're pretty much stalling until you're strong enough. Same thing with Dragon. A good couple Dragon steals, 3-4 Dragon steals, you know, and then the longer it gets, the more opportunity that you have to get to that 5th Dragon. And then all of a sudden you might be 20 kills behind, but you got that 5th Dragon, so you can give them a hiding. So that's another thing to think about, is those neutral objectives like Baron and Dragon. And the very last thing that I wanted to say is that coming back from a disadvantage as a jungler, especially one that doesn't do damage, it's really hard. It's honestly so hard. Like, you have to, the people that do damage, they have to have the lead. You know, they have to have some form of snowball, and you have to provide that snowball for them. You have to give them the advantage so that they can snowball off and they can carry you. That's why jungle is so hard, because you got so many mental decisions to make. Where should I camp? You know, where's the enemy jungler? Blah 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 blah. All that shit. So it's hard, but it can be done, and there are things that you can do to increase the likelihoods of you winning. Like I said, you know, just remember, not every game's winnable. You're gonna lose some games. Just keep watching your replays and keep doing what you need to do to climb. Don't get discouraged. Don't go on tilt. I'm gonna do a video on tilt and shot calling, by the way. So watch out for that one. I love you guys. I hope you've been well. Suck your doolies, all that shit. I don't know. GG. Yo. What's up, my G? You can hear all these cicadas and shit. I wanted to know, because I'm going to Samoa. For those of you who don't know, I'm Samoan, so I'm going to Samoa on Friday. And I'm taking a GoPro. My mate's got a GoPro he's letting me borrow. And I'm going to do all that, you know, all that good stuff. And get some photos and some videos. I wanted to know if you guys wanted to see it. So if you wanted to see it, put it in the comments below. You know, I'll do a whole little video of my Samoan experience, because I've never been before, even though I'm Samoan. So if you want to see it, put it in the comments below. If not, I don't know.